The IRGC says it remains on full alert as diplomatic contacts with Washington continue behind the scenes. Fresh security incidents near the Strait of Hormuz are complicating efforts to ease tensions between Iran and the U.S. A reported blast near the coast of Oman has reignited fears over the security of Gulf shipping lanes. Iran says its position on the Strait of Hormuz remains unchanged despite ongoing diplomatic engagement.
There's a deal. There's a deal on Hormuz, and then there will be a deal on the nuclear, or you might call it the denuclearization of Iran. I call it the denuclearization of Iran.
We had very tough experiences in these past few months, so we must ensure that the Strait of Hormuz does not become an area of exploitation by the parties attacking us.
A tanker reported an explosion near another vessel off the coast of Oman, according to the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations. The maritime security incident occurred about 20 nautical miles northeast of Kasab, Oman, the UKMTO said in its advisory. The tanker's master reported hearing an explosion in close proximity while the vessel was transiting the area. UKMTO said the vessel remained safe and confirmed that all crew members were unharmed following the incident. Authorities have launched an investigation to determine the cause and circumstances surrounding the reported explosion. UKMTO advised all ships transiting the area to exercise heightened caution until further notice is issued. The agency also urged vessels to immediately report any suspicious maritime activity or security incidents in the surrounding waters. The incident was reported as President Trump claimed renewed negotiations with Iran were due to begin on August 3. Meanwhile, Iran reiterated that the Strait of Hormuz would not return to its pre-war operating conditions following the recent conflict.
So go ahead.
What prompted you to call off the strikes last night?
I was asked to by Saudi Arabia, by UAE, by Qatar, and by Iran. We were all set to go. It's about at this time right now, and it would have been a massive attack. We're all set to go, but when the allies asked to call it off, you got to sort of say, well, let's see. And the reason they asked is I think there's a deal. There's a deal on Hormuz, and then there will be a deal on the nuclear, or you might call it the denuclearization of Iran. I call it the denuclearization of Iran.
What should we expect?
We're holding it. We'll just see. We can do it anytime we want. But we were asked by the three primary groups. We were also asked by Iran, very strongly actually. They said, we'd like to make a deal. Now, I don't know what they say because a lot of times they'll say that to me and then they'll go out and say, we don't know what he's talking about. Obviously, they don't want to be attacked. And they knew the extent of the attack because they saw it forming.
What happens now?
Now what we're doing is we're talking to them in the form of a negotiation. It begins tomorrow afternoon, and we'll see if it's true. I'd love to do that, save a lot of lives, save a lot of unnecessary power, to be honest with you. It'll take many, many years to ever build it back. If it could, I don't think it would be even buildable back. So we had an attack that would be the biggest attack since World War II, and it would have been disastrous for them. And they didn't want us to do it. And frankly, Saudi Arabia didn't want it either. They thought that a deal is imminent. And the deal is imminent, having to do with the Hormuz Strait and also ultimately the denuclearization. So when I hear that, I say, well, do we want to go and be this? Now, there's a group of people that would like me to just do it. And there's another group of people that does not want me to do it.
Does Iran have a deadline to come to an agreement?
We'll just see how it is. We're ready to go anytime we want. Would I rather make a deal? I'm not looking to kill people. Because people die, a lot of people die. And we don't want that. So they asked us, Iran specifically, but the other three said I asked Saudi Arabia, the king. I said, the crown prince, I said, what would you rather do? Would you rather have us do this or not? They said, we would much prefer a deal as opposed to an attack. Because you don't know where these attacks lead. I mean, will they be flooded with people pouring into their country and disaster? A lot of bad things can happen.
Yeah. There's a report that you're moving U.S. troops out of Bahrain and Kuwait. Are troops being moved out of the Middle East?
Mr. President, why is the U.S. intervening to support the Japan yen at this time? To support the Japanese currency?
Because we have a good relationship with Japan. We're very strong, very, very strong financially. They have a weakening yen, and they wanted a little bit of help, and we're always there for Japan. Japan's been very good to us, with the exception, of course, of Pearl Harbor.
Mr. President, what is the U.S. getting out of that arrangement?
Financial benefit. Financial benefit. It's also good for the world economy. But we make, when we did with Argentina, I got criticized, we made $25 billion on that deal. With Venezuela, we make hundreds of billions of dollars. I make good deals. Intel, I made $75 billion for the country. I didn't make for me, I made for the country. Intel. I backed Intel. It's the hottest stock right now on the New York Stock, on the various stock exchanges. So we made about $75 to $80 billion. And Japan wanted to, it was really more than anything else, it was a signal of friendship.
You said that the
yen is weakening, and the dollar is doing great.
You said
the fact is, our country is doing great. Everybody wants help from our country.
You said the anti-weapon. I'm with ABC News. You said the
BBC.
ABC.
Oh, ABC. That's worse.
You said the
I like BBC
anti-weaponization.
better than ABC is.
The anti-weaponization fund is back on the table. What are your plans?
Oh, they don't. Look, we have a man named Todd Blanche. He's outstanding in every way. Most of you know who he is. You're not going to find a better person. And it's because I backed one his opponent, and his opponent won in a landslide. It's the only reason it's happening. But I will say there are a lot of people that people were hurt so badly. 22 suicides. They were destroyed. Their families were destroyed for doing things that, honestly, there's never been an attack on any group of people in this country, in my opinion. Maybe there's one group that was attacked violently and viciously, like these people were attacked. And this would be a reimbursement for the pain that they suffered. A lot of people like it. If they don't approve Todd, I put it back on the table. A lot of people like it. A lot of big supporters of Trump like it.
Mr. President, there's been some domestic abuse allegations against Congressman Max Miller. Do you think he should resign?
Well, I'm going to look at it. I mean, so far it's accusations. I'll be looking at it.
Will the U.S. do anything to address OpenAI and Anthropic's models hacking other systems?
We're very much involved in that. We have a big stake in that. So does the world. So we're looking at it.
So in Canada, have you decided on a punishment yet for the wildfire smoke? What is, can you share?
Back on Iran, were you prepared to hit energy targets?
I don't want to say that. So you can't say that. It was going to be a massive attack. It was going to be an attack that would have been by far the biggest attack since World War II. But they've asked us not to do it. They said, please don't do it. And their neighbors said that too. And so we're just going to see whether or not we can make it, toward the denuclearization.
Some negotiations, did you say?
What's your directive for him? He's
supposed to do a great job. He's outstanding, as you know. He's an outstanding man. You look at his education. He was the head of, and he was immediately, very early at a young age, went to the head of Sullivan and Cromwell, one of the most prestigious, maybe the most prestigious law firm in the world. He headed up, let's see. I mean, look at the companies. Look at what he did. Oh, by the way, and he was for 4 years, he was a great SEC chairman.
Do you want him to continue the initiatives that you had Bill Pulte doing?
To do what he wants to do. He's an outstanding person. Everybody wanted him. And he's truly outstanding.
Nancy Guthrie, the investigation into her disappearance, now 6 months long, stalled out. Is it time for the FBI to get involved?
Well, they are involved to an extent, but as you know, the local community really runs those things. Some people haven't liked the way the local communities run it. They haven't liked the way the sheriffs run it. But we would like to give them the benefit. But we're there anytime they need us. It's a terrible thing. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
With Oman, as a coastal government, we are obligated to ensure safe shipping of ships through the Strait of Hormuz and to cooperate with each other. We need to reach a clear mechanism. The goal of these talks, as I said, from the days of the agreement on a ceasefire and then the agreement to end the war, meaning it began on June 18th, was that we agree on a route that both sides agree on, that it serves our interests, because, look, the Hormuz Strait will in no way return to the status it was before February 28th. We had very tough experiences in these past few months. So we must ensure that the Strait of Hormuz does not become an area of exploitation by the parties attacking us. What's necessary is that we adopt a mechanism so that Iran's sovereignty rights are fully respected. Our talks with Oman are bilateral talks. They don't concern anyone else. Over the past 24 hours, we received numerous calls from Britain, Bulgaria, and Ukraine. Since you saw there were incidents in news stating they had provided their bases to America, and we had warned them, saying that they would not be part of the war against Iran.